Wendy from Jage Media and, of course, MJ Unpacked. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me and the opportunity.
Well, I wanted to have the opportunity because next week I'm going to put my makeup on, fix my hair up pretty, and meet you in Atlantic City. That's my Bruce Springsteen paraphrase. What do you think?
I love it. Is this going to be your first MJ Unpacked, Jay?
It will be, no, I think no, but the first one in Atlantic City. And I've actually never been to Atlantic City.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Yeah, it's like a lot of boxes to check. What will I find when I get to Atlantic City?
You'll be delighted and surprised and be swimming in cannabis.
Okay,
and executives in the industry that are moving everything forward. I like to call the heroes in the journey because we focus on licensed operators,
yeah,
as well as investors and research scientists. But the brands and the retailers that are making that finished product, that's who you're going to have a chance to meet and sample all those products too.
I like everything you just said, and the location is important, and I mean that not just because it's in Atlantic City, it's going to be fun and all those people are going to be there, but New Jersey is one of the markets that has seen increased growth, and even everybody surrounding, whether it's New York or Maryland, Pennsylvania is still part of the conversation. Like, it is sort of where the industry is seeing a huge uptick, and that must make it exciting, even in addition to what it was last year.
Yeah, so this is going to be our 5th event on the East Coast. We did New York City 2 years in a row, 22 and 23, and then we made the leap down to Jersey in 24. So it's been exciting for our team to watch the growth. As a national event, we've got players coming from all over, and so to see them coming to the East Coast and filling time and opportunity in New Jersey, but also to see the brands that were with us in 2024. And MJ Unpacked was their launch pad. And to hear the feedback that success was created, that their first 100 retail doors were knocked down at MJ Unpacked, or their manufacturing production was sold through before they even completed it because they met those opportunities at MJ Unpacked. So a lot of, brands that have been in Jersey since the get, when it was just the medical days, right before adult use, and then brands that are realizing the opportunity. They're in saturated markets or they're looking for their next growth. And New Jersey provides that. A lot of co-manufacturing licensing deals taking shape in New Jersey from all over the country.
I love it. And I had to cut off for 1 second and I missed one part. You talked about 5 on the East Coast and 5 somewhere else, I think. So this is the 10th MJ Unpacked?
It is, absolutely. So MJU number 10, we've got a lot of fun pieces that will come to life. We've got a plush toy called Sparky. So be on the lookout. Everybody's already trying to get a Sparky. We'll make sure you get one, Jay.
Sure. Well,
and then also
that's why I wanted to talk to you now, so you put one aside.
Sparky sighting, hashtag Sparky sighting. That's going to be the messaging.
Okay.
To celebrate MJU number 10. And then we have some special gifts for our VIPs and exhibitors and sponsors as well. But our first event was in 2021 in person in Las Vegas when we went head to head with MJ Biz. And I still fight are you a part of MJ Biz? No, we're not. We're MJ Unpacked. So we've done 2 events in Las Vegas, 2 in New York City. This will be our 3rd in Atlantic City. We've also been in St. Louis twice, Detroit, and then this fall we returned to Missouri, but we're going to be in Kansas City. So number 11 is on the roadmap as well.
It's on the way. And even since 2021 to now, and you've been involved with all of them, like, what has been the most striking? Is it about sort of new markets? Is it about we just heard anything about rescheduling? Or is it like seeing the same people, but seeing them sort of in more robust sort of businesses or really thriving? Like, what are the things that strike you in number 11 that maybe you weren't expecting in number 1?
Yeah. Well, one, how, building a national event in an industry that is state by state regulated. And so back in 2021, when I was talking to operators on the West Coast, even in California, to come to an event in Las Vegas, that didn't make sense for them because they're a California brand. They're now going to be in New Jersey, right? So seeing the growth of the industry and the evolution of the number of states that have became not only medical, but adult use, so that growth, and where brands are going to plant their flags for that growth. So that opportunity that we've been able to create for them and that the industry has evolved into for them is really striking. And the other thing is we're still a really small, I mean, you and I have known each other for,
Right,
along the way in various, so we're still a super, what I would call tight knit, small industry, and movers and shakers from, I know you from this company, then I know you from this company, then I know you from that company. Right. So I just really appreciate the community that you can't find anywhere else. And I've worked in a lot of different industry. So that is definitely striking for me.
Yeah. And I also find this, and I want to ask you if you do, because you have so many conversations, right? You're talking to people all the time, every day for a decade. But you, I find sometimes something someone said 4 years ago that seemed like, no way is that going to happen, like all of a sudden seems prescient. Like someone once told me, this was in 2016, so literally a decade ago. I referenced this earlier this week. I was talking to a CEO right on the cusp of Canada becoming legal, so adult use in Canada becoming legal.
I remember that.
And I talked to him the week before, and I said, well, where are you? He said, well, I'm actually in the facility. We're trying to put out as many pre-rolls as we can. I was like, pre-rolls? He said, yeah, there's about to be an insatiable appetite for pre-rolls. And then every market hits this point where they're producing as many as they can sell, and they're selling them all. Like it's like this constant, and we just had on someone earlier this week about 420. Pre-rolls are the big winner on 420. Like it's like something like that you hear 4 or 5 years ago or a decade ago, where you're always like, oh, that person really, I guess they really did know what they're talking about.
Well, it potentially controversial, but I have landed in the world that it's one plant. But I can tell you from the very beginning, we had CBD Wana brands. They had the Wana Wellness, right? And it was a CBD product. And beyond that, Wild's another one that comes to mind. But we had regulated cannabis exhibitors coming to MJ Unpacked asking, can we bring our CBD or hemp product? And we always shared with them who's going to be in the room, what opportunity would be available for them. And if they were prepared for those conversations, then yes, right? But I wanted them to know what they were walking into and how the industry kind of looked at CBD and hemp products, again, based on states. Some states allow hemp to be sold in their stores, some don't. And so it really became apparent 3 years ago when a number of these players, some that I've already mentioned, were saying, we're thinking about going into the hemp side of things. What do you think? And my background is mainstream CPG. Fortune 50, Fortune 500. So I've always saw cannabis as a CPG product. That's why I'm here to help build the industry in that capacity. And I said, well, if you're going to have the finances and the resources to have probably 2 separate teams,
right?
Because you're playing 2 separate games, but you'll be ahead because you'll be learning what mainstream CPG works like, whether that's the retailers or the distributors, the marketing, route to market, the expenditure, etc. And you're building a national brand. So when we do have federal legalization or interstate commerce,
right,
then you tie that consumer that buys something at now a Total Wines and More or a Sprouts grocery to your product that they buy in a dispensary. That's how you become a national brand. So that was 3 years ago, kind of like in the dark on a Zoom call, not like on a LinkedIn post. And here we are. Right. Where hemp beverages specifically and hemp in general, right? Like hemp products, CPG have taken this whole other life form. So that was something that, we spoke about it, but we didn't know about it. And then here we are.
And it seems like, and that part has happened quickly. Like to me, that seemed to happen quickly, even though there are people working a long time. And then even in the realm of this idea that like hemp is being shut down, like whether you believe that or not at the end of this year in the Farm Bill, but like you have like an edibles.com that actually opened a storefront in Atlanta. Like, and then you have state by state, and some of the more well thought out regulations around hemp are actually happening in states without legal cannabis. Like it really is. It's like if you plotted everything on a big wall, like you would need so many details about each state because everything is so different, which is why I'm bringing it back to Atlantic City. It is super helpful to be around other people in the same space because they get it, but also may have insights that are unique.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I read Cultivated every day, right?
Thank you.
Yes.
I didn't tell you to say that.
I know you didn't, but it's a part of my daily DNA, right? It's just because everything is moving so quickly. And so who knows what will happen between now and next week when I see you. Right. right? So being in the rooms with the people who are shaping those conversations by executing on a business front, implementing strategy and process, being able to pivot fast. At the end of the day, being able to provide THC to consumers and do it safely. That is what we're doing. So between our conference programming and our exhibiting, what you can learn from an exhibitor, staying in the new product launches, to the sponsors that are help shaping it, our media partners, association partners, everybody is doing something to move the industry forward, and we continue to need to be able to do it together, right?
Well,
I don't think there's a finish line on
like
education and conversation.
You want to be in the room where it happens, and that's where the room where it happens is going to be in Atlantic City next week. I'm looking forward to seeing you and probably singing Bruce Springsteen's song in my head for every day between now and then. But Wendy, I appreciate the time. I look forward to seeing you in person for real in Atlantic City, and good luck in the next week and getting to the East Coast.
Yeah, thanks. I'm a hugger, so I'll see you there.
Well, that's fine by me. That's great. And cannabis,
and for anybody, if I'm
that too.
If I'm good, and if I may, this is a point where everyone's trying to get to Atlantic City. You and I are going to be there. They're going to hear us. Are going to be there. MJUnpacked.com. Go in, get registered. If you need to register on site, we'll be there. But I hate to stand in line, so get it done. 20%. Do you have a code? Do you know?
Yeah, we got a code. If you subscribe to Cultivated.news, you will get it tomorrow in the newsletter, just like Wendy just talked about. And you should read it every day, just like Wendy, because she's super informed, and you can be too. You can be as informed as Wendy on a daily basis if you get Cultivated.news.
You'll be glad you did it.
See, it's like an ad. I love it. Wendy, thanks so much. We'll see you in Atlantic City.
Yeah, take care.